Am I tripping?
What's going on, guys? Prodigy here, and I know it's been a while since I made my last video because if you saw from the last video, one of my friends, he basically covered for me, and he made a video saying that I'm not going to be able to go and make videos for probably a little while, or maybe not at all. And what the hell is that? Why is there a loud-ass vehicle coming by? But anyways, yeah, thank you, Flicks or Flies, for making that video and helping me out. It was it was a great help because I wouldn't have been able to really make it myself. When I was at the hotel, it was just madness. I didn't have any time whatsoever for, you know, myself. But anyways, continuing on, from the very beginning, it was just a normal day at school. You know, I'm going to each of my classes, and then in one of my classes, one of my teachers says, oh yeah, we might not have school the next few days, the next, the rest of the week, because there's like a hurricane warning, and everybody just we just blew it off. We were just like, that would be cool if we didn't have school or whatever, and we didn't even really think about the hurricane. But then the next period, one of my other teachers said the same thing, and then on the announcements, we were actually in the computer lab, and the principal was like, yeah, you don't have school for the rest of the week, there's a hurricane warning, so yeah, just, you guys are free to go. And right after that, me and my friend, we left, and then we zoomed off. He went 70 on a 30-mile-an-hour highway, and then we picked up Chinese food. I gave him an egg roll, and then I just took the rest home, and I was home by, I think, 4, because that's usually the time when I usually get home around. But we were zooming, and we were able to go and get food and everything, and so I come home, I'm eating my Chinese food, and it was really good, right? And I look on the Weather Channel, and the hurricane, it's actually a really bad hurricane, and I was just like, I'm kind of happy that I don't have school. And then my mom comes home, and basically she says that we have to evacuate to Virginia. We don't have to actually evacuate all the way to Virginia. We have to just leave 100 miles away from our current location because we're right by the water. And so, I'm like, Mom, why are we going all the way to Virginia? And we have cousins there, and my mom just wanted a reason to go and visit them, I guess. And what would we do in Columbia, well, I live in South Carolina, so it hit Florida really bad, and it hit North Carolina extremely bad as well. And so I didn't want to leave at first, and my dad didn't want to leave at first. And then my mom was like, you need to come, James. It's not for debate. And so basically I ended up going, and we ended up leaving the next day in the morning, and we end up picking my grandma up, and we go all the way to Virginia, which is 6 hours away. We take 95, we go straight there, we make a few stops, we go and eat at like McDonald's and stuff like that, and then we go to Virginia. And then when we're there, we go and check in a hotel, but the hotel doesn't allow us to go and bring pets. And I left my fish behind because it's a fish, alright? If the house gets flooded or whatever, then it's a fish, alright? It's gonna be okay. But the thing is, we took the cat because we can't just leave the cat here all by herself. We can't just do that. And so we took the cat, and the hotel didn't allow pets, so we found another hotel that was less fancy, or it was kind of more lower class because they allowed pets, and we basically stayed there. The internet was shit. I looked at the download speed, and the download speed was 2 megabytes, and I literally had like 10 kilobytes a second of downloading speed, which that's nothing. I tried downloading a 1-minute video because I actually uploaded the video when I was at the hotel. I tried downloading that video, and it took me 20 minutes to go and download a video file that was maybe 100 megabytes, which that's not even that much, okay? It's not that much. So it took me like 20 minutes to do that, and then uploading, it was actually kind of fast, even though the upload speed was really bad, but it was only a minute long video, so it wasn't that bad. So that uploaded within 45 minutes or so. But when I was at the hotel, basically at night, my parents and my grandma, they're terrible at snoring. Like they are horrible. They snore so loud, and I barely got any rest. Like the first night, the second night I ended up like passing out, and the third night I ended up falling asleep really quickly too. But they would just snore so loud, so the nights that I didn't fall asleep really quickly, like, I had to listen to them snore, and I had to constantly say, shut up, and I had to constantly, like, fucking tap them to get them to stop snoring, and it was just extremely annoying, and I'm just so glad to be home, to be, like, able to rest and be in peace, okay? I'm so glad for that to happen. And when I was in Virginia, we went to different places, like Busch Gardens. That was fun. I actually made a video there a long time ago with the fireworks. I don't know if you've seen that. There was like the non-copyrighted fat rap music or whatever in the background. I made that there a few years ago. And then we went there and we went to Hollow Scream, and I actually went in my very first haunted house, which I don't know if I'll make a whole nother video talking about that, but yeah, let's just say if you're claustrophobic, it's not good for you, but luckily I'm not. I was on high alert though, looking around every corner, looking at people, and every time I go past somebody scared, I'd be like, hey, how's it going? It'd be like, it's going good. I'm like, okay. And yeah, that's kind of what happened there. But yeah, Busch Gardens was actually really fun. I like looking at all the buildings, and I went on my very first roller coaster ride, which I have motion sickness, and so I actually felt like I was gonna die, to be honest. Like you know, in those videos where people pass out, that's how I felt. Okay, I didn't pass out, but I was really close to passing out. Let's just say that. But anyways, continuing on with the storm, we ended up staying there for a few days. We ended up going to different places, like Halloween stores, just like looking around, going shopping, getting clothes and stuff like that. Basically, a little mini vacation, because you know, in this horrible time, you know, we didn't want to think about like losing our house. Like, that's pretty much, whenever I wasn't doing anything, I'd be like, okay, fuck, I just want to be home, okay? Like, I'm afraid. I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose my setup, everything that I've worked on. I brought my laptop though, so I mean, if I did lose my setup, my laptop could basically suffice for a little while. I mean, it's kind of a good, decent gaming laptop. I mean, not the same as my PC, but it's still pretty decent. But I didn't want to go and lose my entire setup or my house, or I just wanted to be home and basically like talk to my girlfriend and everything, because we missed each other, because we weren't able to like talk that much, because family was pretty much all around me the entire time, so we couldn't exactly like have deep conversations that last hours and hours. So that was another downfall. It's time to go and head home. We finally get in the car, pack our things. We were gonna go and leave the first day, but we weren't able to because the highway was shut down, so we left the next morning. And let's just say this ride, it took 12 hours, and I get motion sickness after 3 hours, right? So even on the 6-hour ride there, I was feeling really shitty. But no, on the 12-hour ride there, I felt like death, okay? This was horrible, because I was sitting in the back, because, I mean, I could sit in the front, but I don't really want to be by my parents. I just wanted to be all alone, you know, in the back. And on the way there, I was able to go and watch videos on my phone, but on the way back, I wasn't able to watch videos whatsoever. So I can only play Clash Royale. Okay, I can only play Clash Royale and just, like, message people. I just pretty much played Clash Royale a lot, Clash of Clans. I wasn't able to really even go on my phone and watch videos, because they gave us infinite data or whatever, but it wasn't really infinite data. They didn't give you good data. They just gave you enough to like search the web, and it was infinite, right? But it wasn't. Whenever I clicked on a video, it'd keep on buffering. So those cheap bastards, they gave us infinite data, but they didn't give us the good kind to actually do stuff with it. Like, even browsers were hard to go and load, okay? So the ride back was extremely boring and extremely painful, because my head was killing me the entire time, and I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home, okay? And the stops, whenever we stopped, I would pray, because the stops were just like, I need to be on the ground, okay? I can't be in a car for several hours, like, especially in the back. The back, I was getting really bad motion sickness, and you might be like, just go in the front, but like I said, I didn't want to be next to my parents the entire time. So we ended up going through to North Carolina, because we had to go through that to get to South Carolina. And there was a town called Lumberton, and this shit is destroyed. I might go and add a picture here of what it looked like, but we had to travel through here, and there was literally houses underwater, and like, it was crazy. So many houses were destroyed. It was just madness, okay? It was horrible. I'm so glad I don't live there, and yeah, I was just so glad. Also, continuing on, when we were going home, we knew that our house was okay, because one of our neighbors took a picture and sent it to my mom, and yeah, so our house was fine. We knew that it was okay. So I was really like happy that my house was okay. But my grandma's house, we didn't know, because she lived in a gated community, and a lot of it we saw on Facebook. There were parts of it that were flooded, like completely underwater. And we were extremely scared about that. My grandma was basically in a panic a little bit. We went through this post-apocalyptic town called Lumberton. It's probably still fucked up, and you still can't get there until like next week. I think the highway's still closed. So we had to go all the way back to Virginia, like the top of North Carolina, go around this town called Lumberton, because the police, they put you from 95, because 95 was like closed there, and they put you in Lumberton, and then they wanted you to go through Lumberton to get to 95 again, but you weren't able to, because the roads were closed, and we saw a tree that was down in one of the roads. So there was no way to get across because the water flooded the bridge, and the tree was over the road, and the people were taking care of it. So there was no way to get across until like a week from there. So we went all the way back to the top of Virginia, like to the top of North Carolina, where Virginia is. We went like around that town, and by the time we ended up there, we ended up at the top of South Carolina, near Columbia. And we ended up going all the way down, which is another 4 hours to where we live. Because we're at the bottom of South Carolina, and where we were at the top, instead of just going straight through. So it ended up taking around 15 hours in total. Not even 12. It took 12 to go and get to South Carolina, but it took 15 to actually get home. And it was just a complete nightmare. And when we got home, my cat food, not my cat food, but my cat's food in the kitchen, they left it there, and so there were like fucking bugs in there and shit, and it was nasty. So they took care of that. We ended up emptying the car, and I go home in my room, right, and I see my fish is dead. Sushi is dead. The one that was in my videos Sushi was dead. Okay, I need a rip Sushi in chat because Sushi died. Because like we left him a lot of food too. We didn't just leave him a little bit, but I guess he died because he didn't have enough food, even though we gave him pretty much like half a can. We gave him a shit ton, but maybe the water was just dirty. But we come home and Sushi's dead, so we're gonna get a Sushi number 2 now. Next time we go to like Walmart. But it's really sad. I want to hashtag rip Sushi in chat. Okay, rip Sushi. Anyways, guys, this is kind of my experience, and I'm not going to say I hope you enjoyed it because it was kind of a bad experience, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm glad to be back on YouTube, and my next video is going to be about live.me, kids, so get ready for that. I actually have quite a good valid point on it, so I'm not going to go and like do a Leafy style where, oh, these kids are cringy, No, I have the audio file already done. I just got to go and get the video and put it all together. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and Prodigy is out. Peace, peace.
Feel my heart beat like